Hello everyone and welcome to Shard TCG. My name is James and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the 10 best creature effects in Shard TCG. Now, as I'm sure you already know, coming in at number 10 is the man on the screen right now, the Amalgalich. The Amalgalich's effect is Gravewaker. Now what Gravewaker says is while this creature is on the field, you may cost summon any undead from your graveyard. So this is a really powerful effect, but the reason that it had to be number 10 on the list was because it was situational, and we're going to have a few effects like this coming up. It's very strong, it gives you full access to your graveyard as long as you're playing an undead deck, but unfortunately that's where it draws its limit. Now if you were to put the Amalgalich in any other type of deck, you'll start to see its shortcomings with its lack of effect. But of course that Ankylorian armor there is really tempting just to put in any deck. A 3 block is not something that you see every day in Shard TCG. Now coming in at number 9 is a creature a little bit similar to the Amalgalich, the Draconax. And we're going to be looking at its Dragon Lord effect. Now what the Dragon Lord effect says is reduce the shard cost of the next dragon creature you summon by 3. Now you can see for the same reasons I've had to put it low on the list, though it is very powerful to have a shard cost, which is what we have displayed here, going from 1 to 5. To have this reduced by 3 means you can get out some very powerful creatures for very few resources. But once again, the shortcoming with this effect is it only works in dragons, and building a dragon deck at the moment is quite challenging as a lot of dragons are high end, which means it can be a challenge to get a foothold in the early game if you can't get out the lower cost dragons for the setup. Okay, so coming in at number 8 is the Rhino Tetra and its effect Distorted Emergence. Now this effect has a bit more utility as you can put this creature into essentially any deck. So as the effect describes, when this creature is summoned, you may banish one creature from your hand. If you banished a 1 shard creature, this creature gains 1 strength. If you banish a 2 shard creature, this creature gains +2 strength. If you banish a 3+ shard creature, this creature gains +3 strength and pierce to both actions. Now for people out there who aren't familiar with action keywords, the word pierce in Shard TCG represents excess damage that is done to an opponent's creature is then inflicted onto the opponent's life directly. So I think this is a good creature effect for the cost of -1 card from your hand to get a permanent buff. It is definitely a good exchange and turns the Rhino Tetra into a powerhouse of a card for ending games. Okay, and in number 7 we have the Epion. And the Epion comes with the effect Explosive End. When this creature is destroyed by an attacking creature, inflict 6 damage of this creature's element to the attacking creature. Now I know this effect does mean that you're down a creature because obviously the creature has to be destroyed for this effect to activate. But 6 damage being inflicted from a 2 shard creature really makes the Epion very undesirable to be attacked. And although the stall tactics of Shard TCG haven't fully matured yet, I can see in the future, with future additional cards, the Epion being a really good stall card. Putting that out there, nobody wants to attack it because it will damage you severely. And I just want to put a reminder out there before we move on to number 6 for people to just like the video if they're enjoying it so far, as it really helps out our channel. And while you're hitting that like button, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button, you can go ahead and do that too if you want to see more content like this. Let me know in the comment section what other videos you want to see, and I really hope to see you again in some future videos. Okay, let's move on. Okay, and at number 6 we have the Necrovor with its effect Corpse Hunter. Target a creature in your graveyard. You may banish a creature from your graveyard once during your main phase. This creature gains +1 strength equal to the shard cost of the banished creature. So for example, let's take 2 Necrovors. One is on the field and one is in the graveyard. This Necrovor that is on the field can use the effect Corpse Hunter to banish the Necrovor that is in the graveyard. And as we can see on the screen right now, the Necrovor is worth 3 shards. Therefore, the Necrovor that is on the field would gain 3 strength because it consumed a 3 shard cost creature. And the 3 strength would increase the attack and counter of this Necrovor from 3 each to 6 each. So it's essentially doubling its damage if it's eating something of an equal level to it. Of course, it is capable of eating things up to 5 shards, and it's capable of eating things down to 1 shard. So depending on what you have in your graveyard will depend how strong this Necrovor is. He's more of a late game creature, but can definitely provide your deck with that needed bite. So I really hope you enjoy playing with the Necrovor's effect, and we'll move on to the next one. So at number 5 we have the Trent, and the Trent has the effect Overgrowth. Remove 1+ vitality from any creature or spell you control. Increase the attack of the creature by 1 for each vitality removed until the end of the turn. So before I explain this effect in more detail, I'm just going to quickly explain vitality to people who don't know. Vitality is a token that creatures and spells can generate, primarily plant creatures, some fey creatures when using leech-like abilities. And what vitality as a token represents to the creature is life. It increases their life cap. So as we can see on this card right now, right in the middle there, the Trent has 9 health. And vitality will increase this creature's health beyond that 9 health cap. So what the Trent can do with the Overgrowth effect is it can take vitality from any of its own creatures or spells that may have stored up the resource, but instead of increasing the Trent's maximum health, the Trent will convert it into attack power until the end of the turn. So if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, Overgrowth is essentially a spirit bomb. You're borrowing the life force of everything around you and you're going in for a big hit. And this effect would be higher up the list if it wasn't limited to Arbor, Fey and plant type creatures. Okay, at number 4 we've got the Cogmusk, and its effect Demise of Knowledge. When this creature is destroyed, draw 2 cards. Now if you've played any other type of card game, you will know that draw power is a powerful effect. And the Cogmusk is essentially a pot of greed with extra steps. So the effect on its own, very useful. But what I really like about the Cogmusk coupling with this effect is that it has the Spellbreaker title. Now the Spellbreaker title means that while it is on the field, it is going to be an annoyance because it is going to take apart your opponent's spells if it gets the chance. So your opponent's going to want to destroy it. Which works out for you, of course, because you want your opponent to destroy it to activate the effect. And even though in Shard we can draw cards a lot more freely compared to other card games because we spend our mana to draw cards. So we get 5 mana per turn, which means we have the potential to draw up to 5 cards. But if we want to save some mana to cast spells, then we have to hold back on drawing more cards. The Cogmusk is a solution to this, as when it is out on the field, if you can get 2 cards for it being destroyed, then that is more mana for you to spend next turn to cast some fun spells against your opponent. And into the final 3, and who takes the bronze? It's the Kayakis. And the Kayakis comes in a lovely bundle with the Manorian Enhancement effect. Now what this effect does is when you consume 1 mana or ward that you own, increase this creature's attack by 1 until the end of the turn. Spending 1 resource to get 1 attack doesn't sound like a lot, but what the effect doesn't state is that you can use it once per turn. So this is where the potential comes in. Right from the start of the turn, you are given 5 mana. Now this is what makes this effect better than Overgrowth. You start off with 5 mana. That's 5 resources you can spend on the Kayakis if you like, which will bring its attack up to 9. That will more than double this creature's attack, and we haven't even taken into account any wards that may be on the field. Now for those of you who don't know, wards are casted onto creatures and spells, and they protect them from your opponent's spells and spell breakers. So wards are very useful to have on the field, but you may decide that they may be more useful for the Kayakis to use them all for 1 big attack. And you must remember that there aren't any limits to how many wards you can have on the field. So the potential for this creature's effect is limitless, providing you can get a limitless amount of wards on the field. But good luck attempting that in the future. Okay, and at number 2 we have the Reaper with its Soul Collector effect. If this creature destroys a creature by combat, gain shards equal to the destroyed creature's shard value. Now in Shard TCG, all players gain 1 shard at the beginning of their turn. So an effect that has the power to gain as many shards that is destroyed can offer huge potential to catapult your creatures into the lead. But remember that the Reaper is a low level creature and won't really have the potential to destroy anything particularly high on its own. Coupling the Reaper with some stronger creatures to wear down your opponent and having the Reaper go in for the kill, and you will be seeing a huge payday using this creature. And at number 1 we have yet another undead in this top 10 list. This creature is the White and it has the Copy Corpse effect. This creature gains the effect of the creature that is currently at the top of your graveyard. Now why have I put this effect at number 1? Because this effect is all of the effects wrapped into one. You may not be able to pick and choose as easily. That is its drawback, as controlling what creature is at the top of your graveyard might be a bit of a challenge. But that doesn't deny how powerful this creature effect is. It can copy any other effect. Those other 9 creature effects that we've all went through, this creature is all of them wrapped in one. But if you think that you have a better top 10 list, please post it in the comment section below. I'll be looking forward to reading those later, and I hope to see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to join the Discord. We have a great community there. This was my 10 best creature effects, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.